This in the bottom right corner here is Windows Copilot. It's an AI that replaces Cortana, and it's pretty interesting to play around with and pretty advanced, especially compared to how Cortana was. I'm going to start with just the weather, and in creative mode it gives me probably quite a long answer. There you go. So it did give me an image with the current weather right now. Yes, I am in Canada. So I actually like the output of this. It's an image, it's clean, easy to read, and also gives me a forecast at the same time. Now, let's put it in more precise mode, and let's do the same thing again. Looks like there isn't really a difference here. So it gives me that same image with the forecast, exactly the same output basically. Let's put it back into more balanced, and let's try something more advanced. Let's do some coding and see what it comes up with. I'm going to ask it to create a form in HTML, and I'm actually going to put it on a website or open it in a browser and see what it looks like. There it is, it's done. I'm just going to take a quick look at this code. So it actually gives us the doc type, the language, and all the tags that are necessary at the top. I'm actually surprised. It even gives us the scale here, now going farther down. So it gives us a title even of user information form, and then gives us the fields, and even adds a required tag to it. So let's copy this, and now I'm actually going to open Sublime Text, which is my code editor. I'm going to create a new page here. I'm going to paste this into here. Okay, there it is. Now let's open it in the browser and see what it looks like. So there it is. Obviously this looks very ugly because there's no CSS in here. It's not designed at all. Now, obviously this is just the very beginning, just the HTML. There's a lot more programming involved to actually make this work, but it did it. Now let's go a bit further and see if it can add some CSS for this. And manually add it into here, so it would go right here inside the head. I'm just going to paste it, save it, and now let's go back to the browser. Here it is. And let's refresh this page and see what it came up with. So there it is. Wow. Okay, I'm actually really surprised. So it centered it. It added a blue icon here with a hover. This is kind of a very basic looking design, nothing fancy, but I am really surprised. Okay, now let's see if we can go beyond that even. Go back to here, and let's see if we can give it a bit better design. Let's add a background image. So it looks like it creates all the code, including the HTML each time. So if you actually want to use it, you have to copy out the specific CSS. Well, let's just see if we can copy this here. Okay, there you go. Let's save that. Go back into the browser, refresh it, and see what it came up with. Well, it looks like we broke the code. Let's get rid of this body. This is turning into a web development tutorial here. I didn't mean to do that. It looks like we're running into issues at this point. So I'm going to go back to here and ask it to give me all the CSS code at once. Okay, I'm just going to hit Control A and replace this whole thing. Save it and see if that helps. And looks like it did not. Okay, there you go. Now I know why it's not working, because this actually just gave us a generic title here, your image url.jpg. So I'd actually have to find an image on Google or wherever, or even if I have my own, and then actually link it properly in here. It gets pretty complicated here, but anyways, so we do have our answer here. I did not type any of this at all. It was all done by Copilot, and this is what it came up with here, this form. So pretty neat. I'm actually really impressed with this. Let's see if it can do the JavaScript for this. So this is getting even more advanced into programming here to actually make this form function. Okay, so it even gave us an explanation of what this code is doing. The JavaScript code adds an event listener to the form submit button. Anyways, I'm not going to go further into that and bore you with it. Okay, now let's add the script into our form, into our code. Okay, there you go. Now let's go back to the website, refresh this. Okay, so it is actually going somewhere now. We don't, however, know if this is actually doing anything, and to make this properly function, we'd have to add a database. So I don't have a background image, so I'm gonna see if Copilot can generate me an image, and it's working on it right now. Okay, so there's 4 options of images. I don't like the way it looks, so I want it to be more realistic. Okay, there we go. That does look a bit more real. Now let's see if I can download this image. Okay, I'm going to save this image as house.jpg, and now I can go into my CSS and add that title. Okay, now that we have an actual image, we can go into the browser, refresh it, and there's our background image. And it even made the form here transparent, which is pretty neat. So there you go. There's a very beginning and very pretty ugly looking website, but you could probably ask it to change stuff up to your liking. It's going to actually, even with a Copilot here or with the AI, it's going to take a bit of time to actually make a functioning website out of this, because you have to create a database, and it actually involves a lot more work that the AI can't necessarily do. Let's go a bit more advanced yet. I asked it to make me a Pong game in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, there we go. We have our code. Now this gets pretty advanced, and looking at the code here, it does not look like this will actually function, but let's find out. Okay, there we go. So it uses the mouse to move this paddle around here, but I don't see a ball. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's disappeared. Okay, so it actually has started, but the ball is disappearing here. As you can see, if you refresh the page, there's the ball, and then it just goes off into who knows where. So it's not quite functioning. Let's see if we can fix this. I'm just going to ask it like a human would ask a friend a question. So I told it the ball is disappearing. Can you fix this and give me all the code? Okay, let's try this again. Well, now it looks like the paddle is gone and the ball still disappears. So it's not able to fix the ball disappearing into who knows where. And it actually got rid of the paddle too, so the paddle no longer functions. So we've just found Copilot's limit when it comes to programming. Now this is very advanced. Let's see if we can come up with a simpler query, and let's see what it can come up with. So now I'm asking it to create me a memory game using the same code languages again. Okay, I doubt very much this will actually work, but let's find out. Because the memory game will probably include images, it might not have. Oh yeah, it looks like the code is broken right here. Let's see. Missing style tags right here. and see if we have a closing style tag, which we don't. There we go. It looks like we had no script tags for the JavaScript. So now let's go back here and see what it came up with. Okay, looks like it's thinking the game is over. There's just a restart button, which doesn't do anything. Okay, so to code with Copilot, you definitely have to know how to code, because there were some mistakes here and some tags missing, which I was able to fix because I know how to code. But if you don't know what you're doing here, you probably couldn't really do much with Copilot because it is in a way limited, and you have to sometimes manually fix stuff for it to function. Like in the game here, we can see it's still not functioning. Let's see if it can make us a website. I'm gonna say, make me a website for piano lessons. Okay, so just giving me an explanation here, so let's be more specific. Okay, so after giving more specific instructions to use HTML, CSS, and make me a website, it is going forward here. And here you can see the explanation of what this code is doing. Okay, so it looks like we just have CSS here and no actual page. No style tags again. There you go. Now let's add an end style. So that's this is what it came up with. Not very useful at all. Let's see what this even says. No, it just says a comment here basically. Generated code review carefully. There's no actual HTML, so let's get Copilot to add the HTML. Okay, there we go. Now we have a white page. So I think we've, yeah, see now it's just giving me the HTML, which is kind of, there's just blank HTML and there's no actual values here anywhere. This is a data note CDE. If we add something into this here, just some gibberish, and save this, it'll just come up as just plain text on here. Let's see it. See, there you go. So we found its limitations. It did very well with the form, but now it seems to be, as we go on, it seems to be starting to struggle. So can you use Copilot to create a website for you? I would say yes, it is a very big help, but you definitely still have to know how to code to be able to fix its issues. Like there was missing tags and just broken code. And as you can see here, this didn't really give me a functioning website. It gave me nothing, basically. It's a blank page. So in conclusion, you definitely can use this. You just have to still know how to code. It can be an assistant, but won't do everything for you. If you want to get rid of Copilot, check out this video.